Well, let's get into some quick takes here.
Yep.
So I think, let's see, does anyone, Bobby, take their job in the Trump administration less seriously than the FBI director, Kash Patel?
Wow.
Kash Patel flies out to Italy on
Wow.
taxpayer dime in his own private jet to party at the Olympics. Not a whole lot of FBI activity going on in Italy, Bobby, but then he appears in a video in the U.S. men's hockey team locker room, chugging a beer, spraying the bottle's contents all over the place, pumping his fists. And, meanwhile, there was a threat at Mar-a-Lago on the president. Americans in Mexico are facing threats by cartel members. You have Nancy Guthrie still missing. And our FBI director is out there partying. What the heck?
That, and then he's used the private plane to fly his girlfriend around in her, I guess, singing career or something like that. I don't even know what the hell it is. Here's what I know. If James Comey would do that, people would have had him filleted. If Chris Wray would have done that, they would have had him filleted. But here's the thing. The current Trump administration is very good in bitching and complaining and having snowflake syndrome, which they love to accuse others of. But in reality, they're a walking blizzard. They're a bunch of snowflakes. And what happens when you have Kash Patel, again, let's go back to what we said earlier, unqualified to have the job, has no idea what the heck he's doing. He believes FBI is like being the FBI director is like being the number one cheerleader. He got ahead on things on the Kirk assassination. He's gotten ahead on all these things in the past, trying to seem tough, only for it to be walked back. So of course he's going to go. I mean, I know he's a hockey fan and that's fine, but hey, it's not like he's actually directing the FBI anyway. So maybe while he's overseas, real stuff with the few career professionals left can actually be accomplished. Is it a bad look? Sure.
It's waste and abuse. If any O5 or general officer took a jet halfway around the world for a party, what do you think would happen to them? I'll tell you what I think would happen to them. They would be fired. They would be relieved for loss of trust and confidence. And, former acting director Andrew McCabe, he called out Patel and he said, this sends a horrible message to the FBI rank and file. And it's a horrible message to the country because, but you got to be, if you're rank and file in the FBI, you see your FBI director, he's just partying it up over there. I mean, it's the same way if you're in the military, this is ridiculous.
Accountability is not a foundational bedrock with anybody in this administration. When I look at that cabinet, just that, that cabinet, DOJ, FBI that's under it, all this kind of stuff, the cabinet is filled with non-serious people. So why would we expect him to be, I don't know, at his FBI desk 24/7? When I was a commanding officer, I had a cot in my office. You know what I'm saying? Because they're nice. Hey, I might as well just sleep here because I got to be back up in 2 hours. What's the point? And everybody that's been in leadership positions in government have probably had those moments, right? Where you ain't going home, this, that, and the other, let alone halfway around the world to watch a damn hockey game, drink and have fun and come back. There's real things that need to be done here. If you didn't want leadership, then damn it, don't say you wanted it. Don't sign up for it. But the thing that blew my mind about him being there more so than anything else was, you're right, all those different things popping off, and we hadn't gotten one update, one news update, no news press conference about these issues because there are many. He doesn't do it unless it's glamorous, unless it's a showmanship type of thing. But he has no problem being broadcast all over the world, partying with the U.S. men's hockey team. I don't, between him and Hegseth, I don't know who's the biggest screw up. Well, no, wait, don't want to be sexist. Pam Bondi, come on down. You're there too. So, I mean, between them and their public persona, and then, of course, we have all heard the behind the scenes rumbling of this cabinet and how the career professionals feel about them. We may be at the tail end of this experiment called America if we do not shift this thing back in 26.
Yeah. Well, this past week, President Trump held his first Board of Peace meeting, and I want to get your take on this. This is a meeting without many of our key allies, and President Trump has said, hey, the Board of Peace has already pledged $7 billion in aid to Gaza, which, by the way, is a fraction of actually what would be needed to rebuild it. But and we also have an organization already designed to promote peace and conflict resolution. It's called the United Nations. It was built by the Greatest Generation, by the way, and it's actually headquartered in New York City. But our president doesn't want to use that. But all of our closest allies, Bobby, are not on this board of peace. But I want to review some of the countries that are on it. Okay, Azerbaijan, Belarus, El Salvador. Hungary, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Qatar, UAE, Uzbekistan. Bobby, these are some of the countries where when you and I were in the military, you had to get special permission to go to those countries with an active secret or top secret clearance because those countries couldn't be trusted. Right?
Bingo. And it's funny you say this. Because when I saw the actual meeting and stuff, I was like, this is Mar-a-Lago 2.0. It's a country club. And they've all paid their entry fee to get in. But then I became more petty and I said, is this what it's like to watch the Legion of Doom form? Because that's what it seems like. You have the Super Friends over here at the United Nations. You got the Legion of Doom over here with this side pocket thing that they're creating. And here's the question. What the hell does peace look like to them? That's my question. What is peace looking like to you when you have the United Nations over here where the world is like, hey, this is what we have seen peace to be over the existence of humankind. And then you got this offshoot over here in the swamp looking like the Legion of Doom. And Trump is sitting there saying, pay me. And these pledges, where's this money going? Who's collecting this? Who's responsible for it? And $7 billion is a drop in the absolute bucket dealing with what was happening in Gaza. Gaza has been eradicated. It is the grayest, dustiest place on earth right now. And you think $7 billion, which, heck, you got football stadiums in America being built for that money. That's not going to rebuild Gaza. So why are we doing this?
Does anybody trust that money that's probably going to go to Jared Kushner is going to be spent in anything to help Gaza? I mean, come on.
Man. And the thing that bothers me the most about that in particular is Congress is supposed to be the ones that say, hey, these bodies, these treaties, this, that, and the other, specifically the U.S. Senate is supposed to sanction all of this type of stuff.
Yeah.
They are continuously MIA. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you there.
Yeah. Well, Trump's in office and we are turning our backs on our best friends like Germany and Britain. They can't be trusted. They can't be on the board. They don't want to be on the board because they don't trust us. And we're buddy with the likes of Hungary and Pakistan. I mean, places that when you and I were in the military, I mean, any commander would be like, where do you think you're going? No. You're not going there.
I mean, it was like big deal to get a chit if you even had a family member to go see them there. Huge deal. I had to go up.
And a chit, everybody is a permission. When you're in the military, you have to get permission to go to certain foreign countries. If you want to go to like France or something on your honeymoon, you actually have to get permission to go there. And those countries that I just mentioned, that any commander, if you said, hey, I want to go to Uzbekistan or whatever, they would be like, that's going to go higher than me.
Yep.
All right. So this week's shout out, the skater with the huge smile. I love the Winter Olympics. I'm so sad that the Winter Olympics are over, but Alyssa Liu, I hope you're familiar with her story. She quit her sport due to burnout at age 16. She delivered a career performance and 7 triple jumps. She earned this massive score in women's figure skating, and the first woman to win the Olympic singles gold since 2002. So shout out to her. Was there any part of the Winter Olympics that you loved the most?
Well, there are a couple of things. Number one, let's anchor on her for a second. Her story is phenomenal, not just because of her, because of her family and the background there, going back to Tiananmen Square and this. She is like the ultimate American story, right? Yeah. The resiliency to get back on the horse, do this. And it's so funny. Like when you watched her skate that gold medal performance, she looked happy. Like she did not have any worry, no stress, because her family and her have been forged before this. You know what I'm saying? And when you put the coals in the fire, you ain't worried about if it's gonna light when it needs to. It's gonna light, and she knew it. I was like, "Go ahead, girl. Do." I mean, like it was phenomenal to watch, right? And then the women's hockey team. I gotta tell you something. This rivalry with Canada, the only time I really pay attention to hockey is during the Stanley Cup playoffs, which I think is the most gruesome thing in sports, and the Winter Olympics because of how this thing with Canada and the United States has gone for a couple of decades now. The women's hockey team, man, I tell you what, they were like, we are the most dominant team in these Olympics, and we're going to prove it. And I give Canada credit for stepping up, this, that, and the other. But to watch the sheer joy on their faces, their coach crying and this, that, and the other before the boys gotten to do their thing should not be understated, because as someone who's got two daughters, right? The physical toughness to play that sport, the desire, they had various ethnicities on that team too, which is a tribute to the development program that the women's team has. I thought it was phenomenal. I was just like, now, granted, the Winter Olympics are usually too cold for me to ever want to go in person. And I'm from Atlanta, and we had the 96 Olympics here. It was the coolest thing I think I've ever seen, and as far as sports goes. But make no mistake, the stories are what make the Olympics great. Especially American stories, because almost all of those stories start in another country.
Yeah, I loved watching it all. I still don't understand curling. I loved watching the men's and women's hockey. I watched both games, and it was amazing for the gold medal games. I mean, it was awesome. So shout out to all the Olympians, and this was an amazing Truth in the Barrel. I loved having you on, Bobby. What a great discussion. Please come back, and for everyone out there, continue listening. This don't put your head in the sand at this time in American history. So, Bobby, thanks for being with us today.
No, thank you for having me, Amy. And if you guys need me for anything, you guys know where to find me. It was really an honor and a privilege to be here with you.